Well, howdy, fellers. So, yeah. So this weekend, made a little more progress. Let's see. Last weekend, I finally got some of the insulation installed. Got up to about right in here, and that was pretty much it for last weekend. And then I remembered there was some wirings that I forgot. So this weekend, first thing this morning, I decided I needed to clean. I mean, everything was a mess. There was just tools everywhere. Everything was just a big pile of mess. I mean, some of this is still a mess, but I had clamps everywhere. It was just filthy. And whenever you get a really what am I trying to say? Dirty workspace, when it's cluttered, it kind of sucks the life out of you, or you don't want to do anything. It mentally affects you. So I decided that it was time to clean up everything. So I cleaned up all the tools and gave everything a nice run through. Found some damage over there, unfortunately. You know, the craft paper is only going to do so much. And this is covering the sink. But got some damage right up in here. But anyways, the point is, got it all cleaned up and then worked on some wirings. I wanted that light to be separate from these two lights. So spent all day running wires and then separated. So now this one here is just for the bed light. And then second switch in is just for the kitchen or the galley overhead. Then this one is for the fan. This one right now is a spare. And this one outside is for the porch lights. And then this one over here is the under cabinet. And then this one here is for the in cabinet. And then this one is a spare. That one will be the other porch lights on this side. So anyways, and I also ran some spare wires from these switch packs, because these switch packs are going to be the under shelf light to light up the cabinet, little cubbies, and then we got the under cabinet lights, these little tiny ones, to light up the curtains, and then we got the overheads, the over pillow lights. And I figured I'd do one switch. So one switch for that one, and this one's on that switch. And then this switch has a switch for these, and then another one for these. So those are filled up. Those are 3 plus a charger port. So 3 plus a charger port. These ones here. So bed, pillow light. I guess, no, that'll be the under shelf cubby light, and then this one will be the overhead curtain light, and then of course you got your plug-in charger thing. And then so anyways, we ran an extra wire from the switch pack to each one of these switch packs. So that's a pair, because it's zip type cable, so speaker cable. So we've got 2 wires. So we can use one as a ground if we have to, or we can use one to take over one of the other switches if we want to. So we can have, kind of thinking about having these 2 on the main switch pack. Not that it really matters, but kind of be nice, because I mean, I don't think really that neither one of us really read. So I don't see why any one of us would be, putting our pillow up and reading a book and wanting that light on. So I think maybe that light would be better controlled from the main switch pack as more of a feng shui kind of thing. And then we ran some more wires here for the galley hatch, because I'm not quite sure, because this is a wide vehicle. If it's wider than so many whatever inches, you have to have the upper lights in the triple. So the triple lights, the ones on the front are not a problem. Those are amber in the front. The red ones in the back, you're supposed to have one on each corner, and then the 3 in the middle indicating wide vehicle. And you're supposed to have them as high as you can, but that's a channel right there. So I really don't want to have them there. I want to have them in the hatch. But I don't know what, I don't know what DMV is going to make me do. So I kind of figured I might as well. Already got a wire there to run running lights up in there. And then, of course, we have to have running lights because it's on the back side. You have to have a side marker light. So we're going to have a side marker light right here. So I've got the wire up here that's going to do one red here, and then the triple. So that wire already comes across, but I wanted to get a wire down into the hatch. So that if we can, I'd rather have the 1 and then the triple and then the 1. I'd rather have that on the hatch. I think that would just look better. And then of course we're going to have like left turn and brake, and then right turn and brake in the hatch, just because otherwise all we're going to have is the little tiny ones down at the bottom. And even if that does meet the requirement all the way, I still want more visibility with, if there's a car behind me, I'd rather have some brake lights up higher, maybe right here, or maybe even higher, like right here. But at minimum, at least as high as this line here, where it's flat here, because I want to get those brake lights, up higher for more visibility. So I might end up putting them like right across there. We'll see. I mean, we're still talking, probably another year before I can build the galley hatch. So, but anyways, so yeah, we got those wires up in there so that we can get them into the hatch. If we need them, they're there. If not, we'll just do plan A. So we got plan A, plan B. And then, what was the other wire? I ran another wire for something. Yeah, I don't know. But other than cleaning and getting the wires ran, I think that's pretty much it for so far. So luckily this is a 3-day weekend. So hopefully my plan is tomorrow I'm going to get all this insulated, and then hopefully we'll get the entire passenger side. Hopefully we get the entire thing insulated. At least that's the plan and the hope. And if I go super uber duper fast, which I doubt, but if we do, kind of be nice to start getting some skin on here, actually getting the outside thin plywood on. That would be uber awesome. I'm really itching to get the outside uber bloop bleep bloop, get the outside plywood on and start skinning this thing, man. So yeah, that's where we are, and hopefully we have a good 3-day weekend, and it's not too hot. It's Memorial Day weekend, so hopefully it's not too hot, but hopefully we can get some time on this and get this moving. And maybe if I'm really ambitious, I'll get some sanding done in here, because I really hate sanding. It's really, it's dirty, and it's just mundane. It just takes forever, and it's not a fun project, and you don't really see a whole lot of progress when you do it. So, but if I got a lot of ambition, maybe I'll get sanding a bunch of this and get a bunch of this primered. I'd really love to get all this primered and get the shelves put back in here, because right now they're just sitting up here somewhere right there. They're just sitting there. So it'd be nice to get them back in. If we can get it primered and painted at least up to the shelf level, at least, that'd be nice. And then I could get them in and even get the lights in under the shelf. That'd be nice. But I don't know if I'm gonna have that much ambition this weekend. So And I still need to do that splitting up there. Still need to fix that with some landscaper cloth and wood glue. But spent quite a bit of time just doing the wiring today, and then I did a bunch of soldering. I actually got some soldered connections. A lot of these here are actually soldered to good terminals now instead of just being all loose. And then for my negative bus bar, I'm just using a bolt for now, which I really like using because it's really easy. Just have all your negatives on a bolt. But we got our, you can see down there, we got our battery and our negative terminals right here, so that's not a problem, but our positive terminal is over there. And that's pretty far away, but yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something to wrap this bolt in so it's not just bare metal flopping around, or maybe secure it. Because even, you know, I could just hit this back of the switch pack here and, you know, short out something if we're not careful. So need to do something with that. I'd like to find some kind of nice, simple bus bar that you don't have to mount on anything, that could have all my negatives go to. That's insulated, that's protected, that's, you know, kind of like a bolt, but somehow insulated. Because, you know, terminal strips and all that, that's a lot of pain. Because you have to jumper the terminal strips over and over, and they're still not fully protected, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm just rambling, so if it's a rambling time, then yeah, it's time to end the video. But that's where we are for now. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it.